Let me tell you a story. It's about what happens when absolute, rock-solid certainty smacks right into undeniable logic. This is a philosophical duel that doesn't just end in a winner and a loser. No, it forces a proud scholar to watch his entire worldview crumble, sending him from pure rage to a truly profound awakening.
It all kicks off with this massive, timeless question. What is the ultimate form of beauty? Now, a highly respected scholar named Bhīmasū thought he had the answer. And I don't mean he had an opinion. He believed he possessed the one unshakable truth. And he was about to put that truth to the ultimate test.
So picture the scene. Bhīmasū, just brimming with confidence, approaches the Buddha. But he's not there for a friendly chat or a dialogue. This is a declaration. In his mind, his understanding of beauty is perfect. It's final. And he's basically just there to get a stamp of approval.
And here's his challenge, straight up. Form and color, the tangible world that we see with our eyes, are the ultimate supreme beauty. For him, this wasn't some theory you could debate, it was a fundamental law of the universe. And right there, the stage is set.
The Buddha's response to this is, well, it's just brilliant. He doesn't say you're wrong. Not at all. Instead, he kind of says, okay, let's run with that. He accepts Bhīmasū's premise and invites him to climb this logical ladder, a ladder of light, just to see how high this idea of ultimate can really go.
So the Buddha starts out super simple. He asks, which is more beautiful, the shiny reflection off a piece of polished gold or the light that a tiny little glowworm makes all by itself? Well, Bhīmasū has to admit it. The living light is superior. And just like that, the very first rung on his perfect argument starts to crack.
And this just shows you the Buddhist method perfectly. The climb continues. Okay, is a glowworm brighter than an oil lamp? No. Is a lamp brighter than a huge bonfire? Nope. That fire is then outshone by the stars are outshone by the moon, and of course, the moon is completely washed out by the blinding midday sun. With every single logical step, the whole concept of an ultimate physical light just starts to fall apart.
And then comes the final blow, the one step that Bhīmasū could never have seen coming. The Buddha reveals that even the sun, the most powerful light in our world, isn't the end of the line. He talks about celestial lights that he has personally witnessed that are even brighter. The ladder has just run out of rungs.
Bhīmasū's entire argument has just been dismantled, piece by piece, using his own logic. He's completely cornered. The text says he falls silent and feels shamed. Can you just imagine that feeling? The very foundation of what you believe turning to dust right in front of you, leaving nothing behind but the sting of defeat?
This is the moment. This is where the whole conversation does a 180. After completely deconstructing the idea of an ultimate external beauty, the Buddha masterfully reframes the entire concept, shifting the focus away from the outside world and into our own inner experience.
He reminds Bhīmasū that our entire reality is filtered through these 5 gateways, our senses. What we call beauty isn't just about color and form for our eyes, right? It's also about sound and scent and taste and touch. It's a full-body, totally subjective experience.
And this leads to a mind-blowing new definition. Supreme beauty isn't something you find in an object. It's a state of being that happens inside a person. It's that moment of pure satisfaction when a sensory experience is so complete, so fulfilling, that you desire nothing else. The ultimate beauty, it turns out, is a state of mind.
But Bhīmasū, he's not there yet. His intellectual pride is seriously wounded. So what does he do? He lashes out. He gets angry and accuses the Buddha of being a fraud. It's classic, right? When you can't win the argument, you attack the person.
The Buddha, though, he doesn't take the bait. Not for a second. He sees the anger for what it is and, again, masterfully shifts the conversation, this time from an intellectual debate to simple, practical wisdom. He starts with this instruction, to let go of the past and the future.
He tells them a simple story. Imagine a child whose hands and feet were tied up, but is now free. Does that child sit around thinking about how they used to be bound? No, of course not. They just experience the joy of freedom in this moment. The past grievance is totally forgotten. His next image is an oil lamp. A flame only keeps burning as long as you feed it oil. If you stop adding fuel, the flame doesn't fight or struggle, it just fades. He's suggesting that anger works the exact same way. If we stop feeding it with resentment, it naturally goes out.
The final parable really drives the point home. Think of a raging fire. It'll consume everything as long as you keep throwing wood on it. But the moment you stop, that intense blaze naturally cools down to embers. The conflict, the anger, it all just ceases on its own when we stop fueling it.
And these three simple stories, they do something that all that complex logic couldn't. They completely bypass Bhīmasū's wounded intellect and speak directly to his heart, to his state of mind. And the effect is immediate and incredibly profound.
The scripture describes his transformation with this beautiful line, which basically translates to, his vision became pure, free from the dust of delusion. His Dharma eye opened, and for the very first time he saw reality clearly. In that single moment, all the anger and pride just vanished. He had awakened.
So that was his journey. He started with rigid certainty, which was then taken apart by logical deconstruction. That led to frustration and anger, which was then gently reframed through these parables of letting go, leading finally to a moment of pure awakening. He came looking for a victory in a debate and walked away with a far, far greater prize.
This whole story leaves us with a really powerful question. Bhīmasū was trapped by his perfect idea of beauty. His certainty was actually a cage, so it makes you wonder about us, doesn't it? What perfect idea, what absolute belief that we hold might be the very dust that's clouding our own vision?